Hi, Sean. Here's a few more answers to your questions. I'm so sorry I couldn't finish the other video. You asked why I wanted to be an actress. And I have to tell you, I believe that kids who did not get unconditional love at home go to Hollywood to seek the adoration of strangers. That's my theory. I had a very bipolar mother. I wouldn't say she was physically abusive. Yes, she was, but I've forgiven her, and it was a long journey of forgiveness through recovery. And rest her soul, she passed away 1 year ago, or actually 2 years ago. Oh my God, April 21st, 2021. I was obsessed with Hollywood, the land of make-believe, and mainly I got all this from Disneyland, my first trip to Disneyland at the age of 5. So that's where I became enamored of Hollywood and going into an altered state. Anything that got me out of reality, out of El Paso, Texas, the desert, the violin playing, I used to kick my violin teacher in the shins because he would pinch my cheeks too hard. My mother always made me look perfect, which is a real curse for a young woman, a young girl. Every hair in place. She was always braiding my hair. Every home movie we have, she's combing my hair and saying, if you don't look perfect, you're worthless. So you can tell I have a lot of baggage to overcome, and I've overcome it, and I've actually forgiven her completely. I love her very much, and we had an amazing healing and amazing forgiveness. But the journey to Hollywood is not, everyone is different, but I do know a lot of actors do not have great childhoods. So my theory is that it's full of a lot of broken people, a lot of people who come here for big dreams, unfulfilled dreams, and a lot of heartache. And they think they can remake their lives and put on a different mask, you know? So I'm writing all this in a book called Hiding My Brain in My Bra, and I'm on a deadline, and I'm trying to get back to writing. And all I want to do is not being interrupted. Nope, don't put any makeup on again and write. My mother, I have to say, I was always a creative child, and I put on theater and plays in the backyard. I was always the writer, director, producer. I made all the costumes. I made the poster board scenery. I even built a fireplace for my first play. But I never thought I had to be pretty to be in the show business. I mean, you know, Marilyn Monroe and Ava Gardner were my mother's idols. But when mom started combing my hair every day and saying, you have to look perfect, I began to believe if I didn't look perfect, I was worthless. So this is quite a big thing to overcome as a young girl. You asked how I chose the name Cornell. If only I'd used my true, the famous name, Harriet Beecher Stowe, it would have been Lydia Stowe. But Cornell, I came up with on the spur of the moment after my audition for Too Close for Comfort. Deborah said, Korniloff. I said, Korniloff. It's such a weird name. I have to come up with a shorter name. So I came up with Cornell with a K. And for the first few months of my career, it was with a K, but on the contract for Too Close for Comfort, I changed it to a C. And Deborah kept her real name, which was smart, Deborah von Valkenburg. She had a lot more self-esteem than I had at the time. You ask about other auditions I didn't get. One was called Ladies Man. The other was called Blue Jeans, Leonard Goldberg. I think it was Leonard Goldberg. Yeah. I thought I did this great audition. I had to actually sing, I think, and go perform it was an ABC audition. I got this huge, screen test. And I thought I acted my heart out. And I had to go do it at ABC Studios. Did not get a call, did not get the part. And luckily, because I didn't get that part, I got Too Close for Comfort. Because when you do a test pilot or a pilot a test for a pilot, you sign your life away and you can only do one at a time. So they hold you in a contract. So luckily I didn't get that one. I didn't get the CBS one called Ladies Man. And those were all the luck of the draw because none of those went. They were not greenlit. But Too Close for Comfort was. So it was all just very serendipitous. I felt very lucky. I don't have any props from this show. I wish I did. I wish I had the cosmic cow. Anyway, my boyfriend and I wrote a reboot of Too Close for Comfort. We're hoping to get that made. It's pretty funny. We got the whole cast to sign on. My book should come out in about a year, if not sooner, if I get it finished. You asked, what other questions did you ask? By the way, I was in every single play you can name in high school. At least I was in every play that I got. I mean, I auditioned for Othello for Desdemona, but that went to the head cheerleader, Siri Lundstedt. I did not have, I had bad acne in high school, so I had to cover my hair. I had these big sideburns. Okay, that isn't true. Monroe and I, my best friend in high school was a gay guy named Monroe, whom they named Monroe after in the show. And he and I pasted on these brown sideburns to cover our acne, and we played torchbearers, and we stood behind Desdemona. That was my big Shakespeare role in high school. The other role I got was Enemy of the People. I got the lead, Petra, the daughter of Aslaksen, and Monroe got the part of Aslaksen in Ibsen's Enemy of the People. I was also in Playboy of the Western World and Los Árboles Mueren de Pie, Trees Die Standing, as play in Spanish. I speak Spanish fluently. I was in the Glee Club. I was the only girl in Scarsdale that wanted to be Jewish in the worst way. And I think I'll cut this part out of the show. Okay, thanks for listening.